everybody, I'm Tom Vassell.
And I'm Joy Evans.
Today we're taking a look at Star Realms Rise of Empires. So this is Star Realms here. This is perfect for new players and experts alike. It says in the back of it. It's a standalone 2 to 6 player game. It starts as an epic 2-player legacy campaign that introduces 3 brand new factions. And you'll unlock stuff, and then it will be played again and again as a 2 to 6 player game. So if you've never played Star Realms before, that's fine. We're going to talk about that a bit in here.
Right.
But if you've never played Star Realms before, I'm about to show you how it plays. But I want to be clear that if you're going to play a 2 to 6 player game of Star Realms,
No.
well, first of all, Star Realms is best with 2.
Yes.
But secondly, the Legacy campaign, which is a good more than 50% of this, is only for 2.
Yep.
So keep that in mind.
So you pretty much build it with that campaign.
Yeah, but when you build it, well, we'll get to that in the overthoughts. I just want to say right now, I don't really think this is a 6-player game, but we'll come back to that. Here's a little bit about how the game plays. The base game of Star Realms is pretty easy. You start with your own little deck of cards, most of which are scouts, and you're going to, on your turn, play some cards in front of you from your hand of cards. You have a hand of 5 cards, you play them, most of them give you money. You'll be using that money to buy cards from middle. You can always buy these explorers, which give you 2 money, or if you get rid of it, will attack your opponent for 2. But you can buy whatever you want, and these cards will be replaced from the top of the deck. Each player is going to start with a certain amount of life, and your goal is to reduce your opponent's life. So you will be taking cards, like this one here does 10 attack to your opponent. It's an expensive card. You also notice it shows this brown symbol on the side. That says if I play another brown card on the same turn, I would also get this. So this would do 12 damage. You might be wondering why this card is sideways, because this is a base. When you play these cards, rather than play them, then discard them, you will keep these cards in front of you. And every turn you can do them. Not only that, your opponent has the possibility of destroying them. And some cards, actually, your opponent has to destroy them before they can come after you. Like this one here is an outpost. Your opponent must do 3 damage to it before they can attack you. So on your turn, you'll play the 5 cards from your hand. Any cards that you buy will go into a discard pile. And then when your draw pile runs out, you shuffle that discard pile to make a new draw pile, which will have better cards in it, and so on and so forth. Your main goal is to get attack to take out your opponent's health. There are some other symbols in the game. Like this one here is a healing symbol, so you'll be able to heal points. And there's a few other things that can possibly be done. You can make your opponent discard cards and things like that. So that's the base game. In the Legacy game, you're going to be playing one of 2 sides, one of them being the Star Emperor. You'll have a little vault here, and you're going to keep various things that you get over the course of the game in that vault. You will be playing through a series of missions. This is Scenario 12. You can see that all these have been opened up. Here's Scenario 11. You'll start at Scenario 1, obviously. You'll open the envelope, and inside the envelope, it will tell you how that scenario acts. There will be some sort of card that sometimes is double-sided because maybe one player gets to pick something that happens. In the first 4 envelopes, there are stickers, sticker sheets. You will get these sticker sheets, and if you pay, when you buy a card in the middle of the table, if you pay 2 more of the cost of a normal card or 3 more of the cost of a base, you can put a sticker on that card. And here's a card, for example, this trade station with a sticker on the bottom of it. And you'll also put a sticker at the top, adding your symbol to that card, which makes your cards easier to play. Each of these sheets can only have 1 sticker played, so you can see on this sheet that there was kind of, this time these 3 cards, the player decided to play these, and these 2 stickers they played. And if you play this one, you can't play the other one. And when you're done with a sheet, it's gone. You no longer need that sheet in the game. And that's kind of the Legacy aspect of it. There's a little bit more, which we'll talk about in the overview, but over the whole campaign, there will be one winner. Victory point cards will be handed out for winning different parts of the campaign. Anything from, hey, you're the first person to get all your stickers out, to you've gotten a certain number of cards with your sticker on them. And that's kind of how the campaign works. I don't think this game would work
in a setting for 6 players, if I came in, you're like, we built this game in our 2-player campaign, I don't know how excited I would be about that.
No, I wonder about that too, because the process of building them is great, but you're right. The balance, you wonder how that is put together.
All right, but let's ignore that for now. We're really here about the legacy part because I like legacy games, or they're calling it campaign. They call it both, legacy and campaign. So we played through this.
Yep.
And because we played through this, there's going to be a bit of spoilers. Not a lot, but it's also not like spoilers. For one thing, I think it's important that you know something that happens in this campaign. And there's not a lot of things to spoil. There's a story, which, to be frank, I don't remember anything about.
No, it's really just flavor text. It's just like what kind of rules are going to be introduced in the next scenario.
Yeah, it's the Star Empire versus the Merchant Consortium or something like that.
Yeah.
So this game is 12 games. The first 4 you're putting stickers on. 5 through 11, you can still put stickers on if you have any left over from the first 4 games.
Right, which
But
you
they're-
probably should.
Yeah, maybe 5 and 6.
Yeah.
And then at the end, and the 12th game is very different. So before we talk about the 12th game, I want to say that the first 4 games of this are really fun.
I agree. This is almost like
really fun.
It's almost like a tale of 2 games. It was the best of games. It was the mediocre of games. And it's not bad, but it's just that first 4, you're rolling so well. The stickers are so fun. You're like, oh, this is going to be great when it comes back around. It feels good, that stickering. And it's quick, too.
Yeah, and if you don't get the stickers off, then in game 2, you're like, I got a few stickers from last time and a new sheet of stickers. And game 4, and then game 5 was like, oh, there's no new stickers. Well, that's okay because we got a few left over.
Right.
And then in game 6, I was like, well, we're running out of stickers, and they really do minor changes. They'll be like, this card in this game is now an extra attack.
Right. You get +1, or you could do -1. Yeah.
Or all cards here cost 1 more or 1 less. And so we're like, okay, then game 7, then game 8. In game 9, we were like, this is just
it?
repetitive.
Yes.
So then you get to game 12. And this is where there's some slight spoilers, so jump ahead 3 minutes if you don't care. Game 12 suddenly turns the game into a semi-cooperative game.
Yeah.
The blob shows up, and you are fighting this blob together. And there's so many problems with this. First of all, the whole tenor of the game changes. You can still attack each other, but if you
why?
do, the blob's going to win. The only reason you attack someone is if like they're about to die and you're about to beat the blob, and I'll be like, quick stab you before I kill the blob. That's one problem. 2, during the whole game, you've been told you're going to get points for having cards of certain types. In the last game, they're like, the blob just destroys those cards.
Randomly.
And how it does it, yeah, it's randomly. I mean, it's through a system, but how the cards come out and everything is random.
Right.
And fighting the blob is so boring. You just hit it with everything you have, and you then take hits back from it, and it felt like we were on autoplay.
And then he just randomly just destroys certain things, and it's like, okay, that was fun.
Yeah, I really disliked that last game. But then it got good again, because
Yeah.
after the last game, they have an extra pack of cards that you can just keep playing over and over
Right.
again. So how do we recommend or not recommend this?
First off, let me say this does one thing where the sticker thing does not take that long because you're still talking about.
Well, you're coming off Clank 2 Legacy, so
I am. No spoilers for that. But you're still talking 40 minutes for even putting the stickers on. So, I mean, it does crank through those first scenarios, which is why it really runs well.
I thought it worked really well in that regard, with one exception. So there's these 2 sides here: Rise of the Empire and the Merchants.
The merchant people, yeah.
I don't think they're 100% balanced.
No.
I think the Merchants are slightly better. Getting heal, they have powers where they can heal, and the other side has powers that can make you discard cards. I'm sorry, but healing is better. Not to mention, you also draw cards. So
I agree.
Joey's like, Tom, discard a card. I'm like, no problem. My next turn, I'll draw a card and then heal 7.
Healing is brutal. I mean, it's fun to say discard these, but then when you all of a sudden, I just heal 9. I'm like, this is ridiculous.
I mean, it's not wildly unbalanced, but definitely feels like one side's better than the other.
Right.
That being said, I think it's fun, but I don't know that I would have any interest in playing someone else's version of this. Like, you and me can play this now.
Yep.
Because we built this cards, this deck. And by this deck, by the way, folks, this box, let's draw here is the content that's inside.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of content, or at least the box didn't need to be this big. So, I like the first 4 games a lot. I got increasingly bored. Then I hated Game 12. And then I was interested again in the other thing as a casual light game. And I thought I could have just played Star Realms the whole time.
That's where I come down. I'm like, you have to look at each iteration of this and say, okay, does this surpass Let's Play Star Realms? And the first 4, I think, were great, and I'm glad we did it. The last whole scenario was horrible. It just was not
Yeah, I agree on that.
enjoyable at all. The ones in the middle were just Star Realms. You know,
Yeah,
with
this is
little
like
deviations.
It was weird to me. It wasn't Legacy at all.
No. Just here's a rule. You can choose one of these 2, and there we go. You're
And
gonna
they
play
were
with that.
such
That's right.
minor rules and minor,
Yeah.
and they're like, but there's a story, right?
There was never a whoa moment. You know, it's like that's what you kind of want in these campaigns, and that it did not come.
So here's the thing: if you play this non-campaign, I mean, if you play a campaign, but you're just playing, you're having a good time, 2 people playing a good time, get to the end, skip the 12th episode, and then you have your own custom deck of cards.
Right.
Great. I just don't think that it suddenly becomes a 6-player game then. I'm not going to be like, ooh, let me see how your cards look different. They're going to look the same. It's more interesting over the course of the game.
Yeah.
I'm giving this a 6, which is pretty high, actually. I thought about giving it a 5. I'll give Game 12 is like a 2 for me. I really dislike that. But there was a lot of fun in there, and I think a lot of people are going to enjoy it. I just think you need to know what you're getting into when you play it.
All right, I'm coming in a bit higher at a 6.5, only because those first 4 are really fun. I really enjoy scaling that up, but then it just kind of doesn't plateau so much as dips down. And the last one is just terrible. I mean, if you play it all the way and just forget the last one, that's what you should do. But if I was going to pick up Star Realms, even if we built this deck, I'd pick up the base game because it's simpler.
I agree. I would pick up the base game, maybe get an expansion. Because also the factionists are like 3 new factions
Yeah.
that do the same thing all the other factions do. There might have been some differences, but I couldn't really tell.
Different icons.
So there you go. That is Star Realms Rise of Empires. I'm Tom Vassell.
I'm Joy Evans.
And he won, I think. Do you remember who won?
Oh, I won.
Hey everybody, thanks for watching this video. If you like this review or whatever you just watched, wasn't it amazing? Check out our channel, Dice Tower. We have all kinds of things. We review games, we do top 10s, we play games live. It's all about board games, but especially the people who play them. Check out Dice Tower YouTube channel.